Hello, hello. What is good, everybody? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Long time no talk. I haven't even been out. I have to do it once a week, but those days fly by, especially when X is moving the way it's moving. What is good, everybody? Let me know if you guys can hear me before we dive into things. Assuming you guys could hear me, my name is Jenkinz. I do hex chart analysis. You guys know me by now, at least for the most part. If you don't know me, welcome. Volume. All right, how's this sound? Volume better? Volume better? Can you hear me now? Let me know if the volume is high enough. A lot of my headphones. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Does this sound better? Hello, hello. I sound pretty loud in my headphones. Can you guys hear me better now? The mic's not on. What? Is it good? Everybody good? Perfect. Okay. What is good, everybody? Sorry about that. I am Jenkinz. I've been doing chart analysis for some years now. Joined Hex a long time ago. Started doing streaming in YouTube not too long ago, a couple months. But we've, for the people that know me, we've been doing this pretty spot on. We kind of walk the charts down. I try to keep it super simple for you guys. Try to show you guys exactly what I see. Mark out the next levels to expect in Hex. Point out the waves that we move on and move in, and yeah. So. I hope that's not Alex Saunders in that chat. That look-alike. That's not good. That's the opposite of what I'm trying to go. But yeah. So what I'm gonna do tonight is what I always do every Thursday night. I'm gonna dive into these charts. We are gonna look at Hex. It has been a whirlwind since last time I was on. So last time I was on was actually the start of Sacrifice Day, and we saw Hex just explode. And yeah. So let's talk about that. And then talk about where we're going. And on the grand scheme of things, Hex is really just doing what we've been expecting it to do. So if you watch my last few streams, you know that Hex has kind of been going everywhere we've been talking about. So it's just following the course. Pulsechain is speeding it up. So let me share a screen with you guys. Let's dive right into it. Let me go to my long-term chart. Pop this out. I already started doing a little bit of work, but let me shout you guys out real quick. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Identity Block, what is good? My first ever live stream was with you. ISO Serenity, thank you for the shout out. I'm pumped to have you here too. Pulso X, what is good? Melvy Tony, welcome. Schwa, hello to you. Mud Hog, we're gonna break out in the 4 hour. We're breaking out. Blue Bum, my friend, what is good, Blue Bum? I appreciate your work, appreciate your mind. Very brilliant Hex mind. If you guys don't know about Blue Bum, you should follow him on Twitter. Shout out to you, Blue Bum, when you had that interview with somebody. It was like I thought it was like a live news channel or something, but you really broke down Hex and made it simple. So shout out to you and thank you for your services. Hex Vader, welcome to the chat. Hex Machina, what is good, everybody? There's a lot more people than I thought. Day 43 OG, what is good, everybody? Welcome to the chat. I'm not going to be too involved in the comments yet. I'm just going to dive into the charts, show you guys everything, and then I'll round back to the comments later on. So without further ado, let's see what's going on. So obviously, actually, let me show you my short-term chart first before we dive into the long-term chart, because we got to talk about what just happened. Trading view. Okay, make sure you guys can see this. Perfect. Is that as big as it gets? Okay. Okay, cool. So I feel like I can hear myself breathing so loud. So last time I was on stream was last Thursday. What was last Thursday? That was the 15th, July 15th. So we were 13, 14, 15. So we were around here. This is our last stream. Okay, so this is where we were at when I hopped on right after the Pulse Sacrifice, on launch, and then we had the massive explosion, and then we had a bunch of different price areas. You know, price really went from, you know, 8 cents all the way up to 13 cents. We broke past 10, didn't spend a lot of time there. But for the people that do watch my streams, you guys know for the past probably 4 to 6 weeks, this gray box, and I keep these gray boxes here because I always leave these as my next major target. So go to my YouTube page, look at my most previous videos. You'll know that this gray box was a massive, massive area for price to get to. It was going to get there inevitably. Ironic enough, it's sitting there right now. We'll talk about that. But it's around, you know, kind of go back on what happened. So before the Pulsechain sacrifice phase, you know, dropped, we were building this triangle sort of pattern. And actually, my very last video I made on YouTube was almost 2 weeks ago. I told you guys we were building a pattern. We recreated this exact, you know, triangle pattern we had here in the first bull flag. And I told you guys literally we were going straight to 15 cents. And sure enough, I mean, price went straight to 15 cents. People thought I was crazy for, you know, being so confident about that. But it was like, it was almost a perfect price call. And it was kind of easy, you know, based on simple patterns. But I'm not going to get too deep into history. But basically, we talked about this, you know, triangle pattern forming, the price tension just building up, building up, building up, and we were going to explode one way. But I want to pay attention to, on our way to 15 cents, we hit my first major target range, okay, this 13.6 level. What do I want to point out here? I want to point out this. Once we exploded, where do we top off at? We topped off at the very tip of this box. I don't move this box. So every gray box that you guys see in here were previous targets. I don't move them. I keep them there so we can, you know, reference them, go back in history. Those are all small because the price candles are smaller. But I keep these boxes here because they're just very important levels, whether there's support or resistance. But when we first exploded, we hit the top of this level, pulled back, and we respected the bottom of this level before taking that next move up. Obviously, we hit 17 to 18 cents and slowed down. I'm going to show you guys in a different chart why we slowed down in this area right here. So this is not shocking. To see Hex top off in this area is not shocking one bit. I will talk about that in a second. But yeah, we hit the major target zone, came up, blew past my 15-cent call that I had. We formed a little mini triangle pattern here when we did create the top, which was like, you know, kind of, that's a bad line, which was kind of like expected. It would be cool to see Hex, you know, just go straight to a quarter, 30 cents, 25 cents or whatnot. But me being the technical analysis guy I am, I like to see healthy structure first. So we created a triangle pattern here. And once you create triangles, you're going to break out 10 times out of 10. What do? We broke out, just so happened to be to the downside. Where did the downside get to? It didn't necessarily get exactly to my range of 13.6, but it doesn't have to be spot on. But what matters is that the price goes in the general area. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new line here, a horizontal line. Price came all the way down here, bottomed off. If I put a red line, let's change that color so you guys can know what line I'm talking about. Let's go blue. So this blue line price came down and, you know, touched that. Well, look at this. The wick, after we hit this major target area, we wicked that exact blue line, came down, respected the bottom, came up, wicked it again, came down, and we finally broke through it, flipped this to a support line, exploded up, hit another level of support, which we can create an obvious level right there. You can see prices bounce in this range and then finally just rip down. What I do want to point out, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I made a tweet the night that this melt happened, okay? We came down, came back up, and then once we topped off at around 17 cents, I kind of had a feeling there may have been a new top for a while, but I wanted to give you guys two options. So this red line here is 15 it's around 15.8 cents. It's not perfect, or it's 15.8 to 16. But I told you guys on Twitter, follow me if you haven't seen this tweet, but follow my tweets because these are very important. I try not to tweet too much. I try to keep my Twitter page informational, strictly about Hex price, Hex charts, because that's what I'm here for. You guys are here for the charts and the information, not for me. And I understand that. So follow my Twitter. But I said if we break this 15-cent line, we're going to go at least down to 13 cents again. And literally maybe an hour after that tweet, we broke this. We went straight to 13 cents. We kind of stopped here for a little bit. If you pay attention, you see we wicked it. We went straight to that 13.6 cent mark that I told you guys. And then obviously that massive melt, we went all the way down to 7 pennies, which that's a key level too. Now I don't think any of us expected price to shoot down that fast, but it did. And then the reason why, this 15.8 cent level was a massive level for us is because, well, that was my first initial target as a support line. as a resistance line, sorry. So I wanted to see that flip support. If we were going to turn back up and start moving, to 20 cents and above, we were going to do it off this 15.8 to 16 cent level. We didn't do that. So price is showing us that we're going to, create a nice healthy correction before we start moving back up. This is good news. This is good news. I know we don't like to be patient, but this is great news because we're creating a healthy correction. But let me just finish talking about what happened before we move on to what's coming next. So after we broke down to 15.8, we hit our 13.6 cent range. We wicked the 7 cent level. I know a lot of you guys felt scared for a second. It was airy, right? It wasn't cool seeing Hex touch, 18.5 cents and then drop all the way down to 7 pennies in like the very next day or so. I know we all know the quality of Hex, but I'm sure I wasn't the only one that was like, wow, that looked like a rug pull candle for a second. We know Hex is not a rug pull, but I'm not the only person that thought about that, at least for one split second before my conscience talked me out of it. But that was a very dangerous candle that came down. The reason why I know it's not, it kind of is a manipulation candle, but not a rug pull candle, is the simple fact that where did the price wick down to? Well, if I extend this previous 6.5 range that I talked about for months and months, well, look at that. Price wicked down, hit this level. So what does that tell us? It tells us two things. It tells us, okay, this level down here is a very strong floor. So I don't think we're going to see Hex and drop below 8 to 7 pennies ever again. I think that was it. We might touch it one time in the future, maybe. That's even still debatable, but I think we're done seeing the price go under 7 to 8 pennies ever again. There was I saw a tweet, people posting order books of a bunch of whales setting buy limits at 5 pennies. Good luck to them. If we get down there, great. I don't see that happening, but if we do, I know we're all buying it. All of us together will outweigh the whales, and we're going to buy that up. But I don't think it's getting that far. But so the wick showed us that it wasn't no scammy candle. It was just a big if you're trading, that's a liquidation type of candle. But it seems just like for the sacrifice phase, there was some big money that just drained all the people out of that day 5 bonus, because this happened day 5 of the sacrifice phase. And everyone's expecting a pump there. They tricked us with this pump. But they didn't really trick us, but they tricked a lot of people, because you can see it just looked like a volatile move down, impulse, correction. The correction pumped a little too high. So an impulse was kind of inevitable. That's why we broke the support line. We were going pretty far down, and that's exactly what happened. Normal, healthy structure. So what do I expect? And obviously, the price came up. We stayed in my range a little bit, respected the top, respected the bottom, broke it, flipped the top to the support line. Right now, we are at a very, very key level. I'm happy this stream is happening right now, because we're at a key level, and these are the best moments to get on stream and show you guys all the possibilities. I love when Hex gives us, good structure to point out. Okay, so after topping off, what do I see happening? Okay. Well, first we created this triangle. We ripped down. I think this is a wave 1, right? Wave 1, you know me. I like the Elliott waves, 3 to 5 wave patterns. No matter what type of movement you have, you're going to have 3 to 5 wave patterns. Just to show that, look at this. This impulse, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Just a small, simple wave to create, one movement. Now that we kind of topped off, stopped creating the waves, well, now we're moving in another direction. We have wave 1 down, wave 2 corrects here, wave 3 down here, wave 4 can be right here. If this fifth and final wave doesn't hold structure at 13.6, which there's a good chance it could, I can very, very easily see Hex come all the way back down to 10 pennies before its next move up. I would not be shocked on that. I know that's probably not the most exciting news in the world, but that is something I do want to see. The good thing is, for the majority of Hexicans, I hope at least, a bunch of us got in day 1 through 5, maximized that bonus, probably put in a good bag at a high price. Now, day 1 through 14 after the first 5 days, most of us are staked. We got a lot of 555s in there. We're waiting, 10, 15 years anyways. We don't need price to explode yet. If there's people out there that missed that sacrifice day bonus, you're still just get your money in, capture that bag. Don't play with fire. Don't play a trading game with this. This is literally your future, and a little can go a long way. A small move can make a big difference. So just know that. Don't go into Hex with a trading mentality. I think the sacrifice phase proved to everybody, the moment you start thinking like a trader in the charts, you're going to get burned, and that's exactly what happened. Too many trading mentalities going on right now. A lot of people didn't get burned, but they lost a lot of potential money. But it's okay. If you're in the sacrifice phase, you're here still today. You are ahead of the curve. You put $1 in, you're gonna get 10,000 pulls. I mean, it's gonna be a lot. So No matter where you're at, if you didn't sacrifice yet, if you did, you're still doing well. Don't worry. Okay. But what I would like to see, being the guy that I am, I would just like to see this 5-wave pattern complete off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come down to 10 cents. Because the reason why I want to see 10 cents is because that was a massive level. Just like 1 cent or 1 penny was our big level once we were trading at all the Satoshis for a while. 10 cents was our next big candle, our next big area. 10 cents was the area that Richard Hart even lit his candles. Hang on. 10 cents was a very key level. I expected a lot of sellers there. But when we actually got to 10 cents, you can see price didn't spend much time there. Yeah, we kind of broke down, wicked it once, flipped it to a support line, but we didn't really get a healthy correction with a lot of slow movement back to 10 cents. I wanted to, as much as I like seeing the movement up, I wanted to see a nice, healthy correction at 10 cents, flipped into support line. Well, I think that's being played out now, and this is best case scenario. So yeah, if we can get this fifth and final wave all the way down to 10 cents, not all the way, it's a few pennies away, but down to 10 cents, I would be very, very happy. I'd be a happy man, okay? And it doesn't have to go all the way down to 10 cents. The reason being is this. These are the most beautiful patterns you will ever see in the charts, okay? So see the chart that I circled. Take note of this. If you guys ever see this pattern, this is the most bullish or bearish if it's going the wrong way. This is the most bullish type of candle you can see in any chart. It is not complex. It is just simple. But if you see a massive push up, it's these three candles right here, by the way. If you see a massive push up followed by a candle that has a small push down, but it has a strong wick, but it closes out very minimal, and then the next candle push way up, that is what's called something sort of like a doji candle. Basically, it means prices is shooting up. There's a lot of momentum. The next, candle wants to trick people thinking that, okay, it's the top and it's going to go down. And then the next candle just rips up, shows us where price is going. Anytime you see this, the price always follows. 99 out of 100 times, it follows with rapid volatile movement to whatever direction it's pointing. As you can see, this candle printed, had the small doji-ish candle. We ripped right past it, and then bam, price shot up all the way to 14 cents. Small correction took us to 18 cents, okay? If you see these candles, these are the most bullish candles in all of charts, no matter what chart you're looking at. We got that. That confirms Hex is still strong. Another reason why I bring that up, though, is the area that it happened, okay? So the reason why I say we don't have to go back down to 10 cents, let me make sure I'm still live. Is everything good? Okay, I'm still live. A lot of times I mute myself or whatnot. I don't even know because I'm checking the comments. But the reason why I say we don't have to go fully to 10 cents is because the exact area where this price action happened, I like to go right in the dead center. Where's this at? Bam, go right there. Let's get rid of the blue charts now, or blue lines now. Let me 1 second. Let me get you another red line so I can keep these separate for you guys. Let's make this red. Okay, so you see where this happened? I fully expect price to at least touch this area, but it doesn't have to go to 10 cents. 10 cents is more of a psychological level, which usually get it. But if we don't touch 10 cents, this is what, 10.7 pennies. So this small short-term range, if we don't hold 13.6 as a support line, I would want to see this range right here get touched. I'm not going to keep this gray box on there because it's such a short-term play. It's not like a massive long-term level. But so you guys can see where my mind is at. I want to see, yeah, literally 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, and then we're gone. We are gone 20, 25 cents, okay? So before I show you the next chart, keep in mind that candle, that play I just showed you, keep in mind the 10 cent to 10.6, 10.7, so 10 to 10.7 range, and then keep in mind that 5-wave pattern I just drew up, okay? Because those are all key levels, and I'll show you a bunch of different reasons why. So now let me share more of a long-term chart with you guys. That's a short-term play, by the way. I guess I can show you something real quick. If this 13.6 does stay as a support line, where can we go? We just had a massive impulse on this correction. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see a 5th wave up. If we might see a short-term push from 13.8 up to about 15.8 again. This is a huge level before getting that touchdown. I don't know. I mean, I could be very wrong, but I do see just a small push down, no matter if we respect this level short term or if we just go right down now. But it looks like we're creating some wave patterns in a pullback. Usually when 3 to 5 of those waves happen, we usually just finish it off. Or it can be 1, 2, 3, and then we finish the third wave, we're going to start that, you know, just another impulse down. But either way, so I say the short-term top in the next, you know, maybe day or so would be 15.8, 16 cents. If we get there, I'd probably sacrifice a bag, not financial advice, just to maximize your dollar. If we don't get there, be patient. You see a 10-cent hex, 10.7 cent hex, be patient. We're going to push right off that level, okay? So keep all those levels in mind. Now let's go look at the long-term chart that I've been walking down since I started doing my streaming. Let me stop that. What's good, everybody? What is good, everybody? Okay. Here's the chart. Okay, this is the long-term chart. And this is looking so beautiful. So you guys know every time I bring this chart up, I always talk about this price trap, that big payday. The only reason why the price didn't stay in this rectangle this entire 6-7 months is because big payday kind of pushed it down. But obviously you see the price corrected itself. If you guys don't watch my streams, I call this a price trap. Price trap, we're just moving sideways between two levels, this gray area. And to confirm a trend, I like to see the break of a price trap and then retest of the top or bottom line, depending on which direction it's going. In this scenario, we broke it. We started a 5-wave Elliott pattern. By breaking out wave 1, pull back wave 2, we flipped the top of this price trap, range into a support line. Had the massive rip for wave 3. Wave 4, we came down, a nice healthy correction off that bull flag. Sure enough, it was the 618 Fibonacci level. You guys know me by now. 618 level is the most important level in all of the world. 618 golden ratio, whether it's charts or life, that 618 will help you learn a lot of things about the world. We hit the 618 level perfectly, and then we shot up and I drew out this 5th wave. It obviously took a little bit longer, but look at exactly where I put the 5th wave at, because this line, I've had this line on here for a long time. I haven't touched this red line anywhere. But where did I put the top of this red line at when we first started doing this? I put it at the 17-cent level. Why did I do that? Well, when you're swimming in new territory, when you are at all-time highs and you don't have previous price action or structure to go back and look at to kind of find levels, you have to use a Fibonacci. You don't have to, but it's easiest to use a Fibonacci to help project, you know, kind of like the algorithmic rhythm of the chart and just see where the momentum might take us. How do I find the future levels? Well, once you have a 618 level, the first good one, minor level, is always a 1.618. That's always going to get touched after you create an all-time high. Not the most important level. The 2.618 is like a longer term. Once you create some waves in there, 2.618 is always going to be the big level we got to next. That's why I made that 17 cents the top of our 5th wave right there. Well, look what happened, right? We literally exploded. By the way, this was a 1.618 level right here. We touched it and did respect it for a while, flipped the old all-time high into a support line. I mean, this chart is beautiful. Everything's going according to plan. But this 2.618 level at 17.5 pennies, that is why that was my biggest, you know, my next biggest level. For that reason, the third big level was 25 cents. That's the 3.618. That's where we're going next off of, you know, our pullback. Okay, but now let's talk about some things. Remember that 10 penny range that I wanted to pull back to. Here's some more reason why I want to see that happen and expect it to happen. Plus, it kind of already did. It already did happen. If you talk about that wick that went to 7 pennies, but I want to see a healthy structure. Because now that we finally hit our goal, we finally completed this 5-wave pattern. Let me delete off this line. No, I'm gonna leave that line in there actually. We finally completed this pattern. It's inevitable that we get a pullback. That's why I'm not shocked that we topped off at 17 cents. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, pay attention to that top. I'm not surprised why we leveled off at 17, 18 cents. It's because of this. That was our ultimate goal on the grand scheme of things. Well, our next step on the staircase, let's put it. So now that we hit there, I fully expect a pullback. A couple things that's in this pullback. First of all, I mean, bull flags. Hex is perfect for, creating bull flags. So let me draw this one out real quick. Where's my brush? Bull flag, if you guys don't know, flag pulls right there. And then the flag is this. What happens after you create a flag? Price shoots up, right? Well, what is the level that we can create into a support line? So our previous all-time high before this massive impulse was this 1.618 level. What is that 1.61 level? Ironic enough, it is 10.8 pennies. So what did I say? 10 to 10.7. Where was that 10.7? What I just showed you guys at that 10.7 level? It was that doji candle. The price moved up, small candle down, and then we ripped up. That is the exact price action we had at this exact level. So this further confirms that I want to see price come down, at least touch 10.6 pennies, if not 10 pennies, because I'm OCD and I like the psychological level, but at least touch this range that I just highlighted on that last chart. And then our next move will be into this green range that I have here. Okay. Well, how did I find this green range? Well, let me show you guys. Okay. So whenever you complete a 5 and this is my own strategy. I'm just me, right? I'm me and I know what I'm doing. It works for me. So I'm sure it works for a lot of people. So what do I do after we break a price trap and complete the grand scheme 5-wave pattern? Well, I moved the Fibonacci from where it was to the new level. So now that we finally completed this pattern, the Fibonacci all the way from Hex's bottom, January 5th of 2020, all the way to our major level target. That's where I put the 618 level at, right? I mean, the Fibonacci at, okay? So what does that tell us? Oh, this is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. Like, please, I hope you guys are paying attention because this is gonna help everybody, okay? So now that we extended this Fibonacci level, we can move on to bigger and better things. We are done with this 5-wave pattern. Check that off the checklist. Mission accomplished. Checkmate, right? This pullback, here's the 1.0. The first thing I want to see on a brand new Fibonacci is a pullback to the 0.618 level. The 0.618, where is that level at, ladies and gentlemen? Look at this. This red line that I have right here is right here directly on this black line. This black line, I'm going to turn it into a red line. This red line is our new 618 level, right? What is that price? 10.8 pennies. That exact range I showed you in the last chart that had that beautiful doji play, the exact range I want to see us pull back to. It is our old all-time high flip into a support line, and it's our brand new Fibonacci 618 level. There is too much drawing on the wall for us to, not foresee this coming. Let me be very clear. Price already did touch 10 point. The price literally hit this exact level, right? Price already came down here and respected it. We had the wick, but that wick was so fast it doesn't matter on the daily chart. But the long-term structure, we hit that exact level perfectly spot on. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't draw the hex charts. The hex chart is printing itself out. I don't have any control over this. But when you put all these tools and stack them on top of each other, this is the exact data that we're getting. This is as simple as it gets. If I understand this, I'm pretty sure every one of you understand this, right? I'm not a genius. I'm not the smartest man in the room. I just really understand the charts when I put 2 and 2 together, okay? But so that's another reason why, probably the 5th confirmation why I expect a touch there, although we did get a touch already. I just want to see a healthier touch because I like seeing stuff like that. But what does this bring us to? Well, the 1.618 level for our future. Now that we have all-time highs, we don't know where to go next. The Fibonacci, I just keep putting this on all-time highs all the time, and it keeps happening. So it is inevitable. Our next major target is going to be that 25 cents all the way to 28-cent range. The 28-cent range is our 1.618 level. So this green line I have here is our next major target, ladies and gentlemen. Write this down, book it. Next major target. Okay, this can happen by the end of sacrifice phase. It can happen right after sacrifice phase. And once we get here, we might blow past it because we already saw the damage Pulsechain did right when the news dropped and day 1 came. Once we get this correction, maybe when sacrifice phase ends, or maybe the snapshot. Once the snapshot comes, I probably would expect, price to pump like crazy and get to this level because everyone's going to want to buy that last minute hex before we get our duplicate copies. It's going to be a 2-for-1, a BOGO deal in hex. We can't beat that, right? Although Pulsechain starting at 0, the PX is probably starting at 0 and whatnot. It's a 2-for-1 deal. The price will catch up. The price will appreciate. So everyone's going to be buying hex last minute. That's probably going to be the situation that brings us to this next major target, okay? So I'm going to give you guys 3 major targets just based off the simple tools that we all have access to for free, right? First major target, 25 cents, 25 to 28 cents. Let's go with 25 cents. Let's just set the floor there. First major target, starting July 22nd, looking forward. I need to put my charger in soon. I need to charge my laptop. 28 cents is the first major target, okay? What is our second major target? Well, let's just go based off everything I've been telling you guys. Nothing else changes. Second major target, 45 cents is our next major target once we start moving that next wave up, right? And what is our third major target? 63 cents, okay? First major target in Hex, 25 cents going forward. Next major target, 45 cents. Third major target, 63 cents, okay? This is beautiful. I hope that made a lot of sense to everybody. Let me see. Let me go back to the chat now. So let me know what you guys think about that. That is some interesting stuff. But it's just a beautiful chart. Everything is aligning. The chart, the structure, the movement is just so healthy right now. I mean, we cannot beat what we are getting right now. This is just picture perfect. Okay. Let's talk about a couple things. Now that I showed you guys the charts, let's talk about some things that aren't fully the charts, but let's take a look at some important statistics. What is good, everybody? Look at me. You guys heard a snore. That's my baby. She's sleeping. It's my puppy, Jellybean. She's sleeping by my feet. Let's go to nomics, right? Let's look at the market caps. Let's look at the numbers that don't matter, okay? Let's look at the numbers that don't matter, but we get to brag about. Okay. Did I share nomics? I sure did. Okay, Hex, number 3 in the entire world. Hex is number 3 in the entire world in market cap, right? 79.38 billion in market cap, and that's on a massive, quote unquote, massive pullback, right? We hit $100 billion in market cap. And that's less than 2 years. What's that? Less than 20 months, 18 months, 18 to 20 months. Like that. That's very impressive. We passed up the stable coin in Tether in a bear market. That's impressive. We were almost a 2x away from being at, flipping Ethereum. We will flip Ethereum eventually. Pulsechain will. Oh, and by the way, Richard Hart talking about Pulsechain, how it's going to complement Ethereum, but he was being nice. And then if they didn't want to be friendly with him, he can really basically screw them over by, just overloading them with a bunch of, traffic and stuff and really harm them. He can destroy Ethereum if he wants to. I don't think so Richard Hart, when he talks about things, he doesn't say it, but he says it. You guys got to pick up on the details between the lines, right? But if Richard Hart really wanted to just use Pulse as an engine to take out Ethereum, he can. He will one day. Rightfully so. But like he said, he's starting off friendly. So I fully expect, as long as Pulsechain drops right after sacrifice phase, we get this ball rolling, with a few months left in the year, I fully expect to see Hex pass Ethereum this year. And that's not hopium. That's just reality. That is reality, because I fully expect Ethereum to go down. I see Ethereum hitting about $1,300 to $1,000 before the next pump up. And that's kind of being nice. So I definitely expect the market cap to probably drop to 175, 160-ish. You just never know. And then Hex will pass that with Pulsechain. Bitcoin too. We already know Bitcoin's going to get flipped by a few things. Ethereum will flip it eventually. Hex is going to flip it. Pulsechain is going to flip it. P-Hex is going to flip it. Top 5 coins in 3 years: P-Hex, E-Hex, Pulsechain, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Right. So that's that. So that's pretty cool. And I know everybody saw that Alex Saunders. Man, pray for the man. I know he's not good for anybody or anything, but he really put himself out there and got roasted, because I'm not even talking about the DMs that he sent, Big Boy Crypto and Richard Hart and whoever else he was, getting money off of scamming people. But when he's talking about the volume, Richard Hart just made him look so silly. I felt kind of bad because, the man has a family. He has feelings. He's a human. But he put himself out there, so credit to him. The market cap, I think, the volume was only 50 million, I want to say, when he got in that video. So the fact is, we're up to 3.48 billion. So for all the plebs, all the people that don't have a clue about anything, that want to talk about volume, I mean, $3.5 billion of volume. If that doesn't make people happy, I mean, they're just the only people that don't believe in Hex or don't like Hex are the people that don't own it. That's it. If you know about Hex, you understand Hex, you're in it. If you don't know about it, you're not in it. If you don't understand it, you might not in it. You might not be in it. If you're the people that are calling it a scam and stuff, that's just because they're not part of this. And it's still early. That's the sad part. They can just shut their mouth and just join. They will really, shift their future in a positive light. But yeah, the volume's up there. So these numbers that people want to, attack Hex for, they're going up there. The numbers that don't matter whatsoever, they're starting to show. Obviously, when something's brand new, it's going to start off little. Just because it starts off little doesn't mean it's a scam, ladies and gentlemen. I know none of you guys in the stream think that, but if people talk to you and try to bring up those numbers, just like, it is silly. Just point them to that Alex Saunders, Richard Hart interview, because, I mean, it can't get more simple than that. So that's something that's very impressive. Another thing I wanted to look at with you guys is the sacrifice phase numbers, because these are looking very, very good. And I want to talk about Pulsechain too. And I want to get your guys' input because this is so interesting. Let's see if you guys can see my screen. So here's the Pulsechain sacrifice numbers. Let me refresh it. 608 before the refresh. We are at $613 million sacrificed into Pulse. $613 million got sacrificed to make a political statement, expecting nothing in return, just for the right of free speech and using the blockchain as that tool for free speech, right? I know we're all trying to get free Pulse token. That's not the actual purpose, but that is. People really sacrificed $613 million into Pulse already. If you guys think Hex was big, I'm starting to really believe that Pulse can be bigger. Hex is never going to get touched by anything, not even Pulse. Hex is its own beast. But Pulse, being the beast that it is, attacking a whole different monster in the DeFi plat network. Give me 1 second. I have to get my charger. Give me 1 second, guys. My charger.
Yeah.
My laptop charger.
Oh, I put it up there.
Can you grab it real quick, please? Thank you. All right, sorry about that, guys. Whoops. Okay, can everybody hear me? I just dropped my stuff. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, Hex. Hex is its own beast. Nothing's going to compare to Hex. It's going to be its own, money maker, Federal Reserve printer, and just paying the people that believed in it from, day one or even year one or two, the first couple of years, because it's still early. Pulse isn't going to compete with Hex, but I feel like Pulse has so much more hype, has so much more belief behind it, less criticism from day one. And this sacrifice number of $613 million put into Pulsechain, we're going to be over $1 billion put into Pulse before the day it goes live, right? By the end of the sacrifice phase, we're going to have over $1 billion sacrificed. That is highly impressive. And to the people that are sacrificing, kudos to you. I mean, this is some really good stuff. Hex was that once in a lifetime opportunity that really changed the lives for everybody that's involved. There's not one person that's harmed by what Hex is doing right now. Even if you bought the top, as long as you staked, you're getting paid while we go up or down. Hex is that once in a lifetime opportunity. Pulsechain is that once in a lifetime opportunity. You can't even call this a twice in a lifetime opportunity. It's just two individual once in a lifetime opportunities that we just so happen to capture both of them, right? So kudos to you guys. If you guys are here today and you feel like you don't have enough, or you feel like you fell behind, or you feel like you're late to the party, you are so early. There is people, millionaires, billionaires, just finding out about Bitcoin today, putting their money into it. People are just finally starting to figure out what Ethereum is and understand, not even understand, but just know that Ethereum is the big competitor to Bitcoin. People are that we're pouring a bunch of like water of mass attention to the masses into crypto, and it's slowly overfilling Bitcoin. Now it's pouring into the Ethereum cup. Well, that Ethereum cup started to get filled with mass attention, and it's going to start, filling over and pouring into all the other DeFi ERC20 token, cups. Hex is going to be that first one. Pulsechain is really going to take over Ethereum eventually, be a better version of Ethereum. Like I said, Richard's plan and what he will do, basically, once we kind of, lure Ethereum into our trap in Pulsechain, we're going to strike. We're going to execute. We're going to bring them into our trap. We're going to trap them, squeeze them dry, and then Pulsechain will take over as that massive world computer that Ethereum should have been, that they couldn't, maintain the proper way. Ethereum will be, more mainstream for the next couple of years, probably to the masses, but it's not going to outperform Pulsechain or Hex. And then P-Hex too. I see P-Hex on Pulsechain not competing with E-Hex, but eventually I see the say if Hex is at 20 cents and we have P-Hex at 19 cents, well, a bunch of people are probably going to buy the cheaper version of it, right? And then push that price to 21 cents. And then people are going to see cheaper Hex on the Ethereum chain. And then people are going to buy that. And it's going to be all of us. We're going to be doing all that, right? And then all the new people. But I feel like it's going to be a constant competition that's not going to take away from each other, but it's going to be a constant competition where they both push each other. They're both going to set the bar high every single time. They outperform one another on the short-term charts. So that is what I see. So you guys have my targets. If somebody wants to clip that for me, that'd be great. If you can clip my my targets and the charts. I showed you guys the technicals. We saw some good stuff from the Pulsechain. Another thing on Pulsechain too, outside of the sacrifice, I didn't talk to Matty Allen, but I just tuned into his stream. I was like, what do you think? I've been getting some ideas of when do people think Pulsechain will go live. Matty Allen said like 1 to 3 days after sacrifice phase ends. If that happens, and this is all going to happen so fast, we won't even be able to blink. I was thinking 45 to 60 days from the start of sacrifice phase, which is like, I'm still okay with that. But if a lot of smart people that know a lot more than me are saying it's going to happen a lot sooner, I believe that. So, like I said, we're going to get Pulsechain valued at $0. Who knows? I really am intrigued. And excuse me. I'm really intrigued and just interested to see how price performs, how fast it's going to move up, how fast is everyone going to buy it. I just really see, man, what did Hex do its first year? 360x year one or something like that, not counting staking. If Pulsechain can do a quarter of that with this much more money put into it, you got to think, before Hex, we all put normal, not we all, but the average person, the people that are just out there trying to get it grinding that maybe didn't know about crypto, when they first heard of Hex, they put their hard-earned dollars, maybe from their work, maybe from their job, maybe from other coin profits, who knows? But we put our hard-earned dollars into Hex and saw that appreciate to unreasonable levels, right? Well, now Pulsechain, a lot of the Hexikins have that capital, have that liquidity that they want to make big boy or big girl decisions, right? To really shift the future of their life. A lot of Hexikins really that maximized, this 4,000% increase on Hex. Imagine Pulsechain doing a quarter of that, being, pessimistic. If Pulsechain only does a quarter of what Hex did, but all the Hexikins have that much more liquidity and that much more capital invested into it, imagine those gains. So the gains are going to look good on a percentage level. I do expect Pulsechain maybe not to perform. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about that. I would not be shocked to see Pulsechain perform just as well as Hex, if not better. But say it doesn't. Just imagine the U.S. dollar value of everyone's portfolio growing this time around. Hex already, took people from normal income, normal finance status, financial status or whatnot, and really took a bunch of normal people to that next level. Well, now a lot of us are executing with whale money at this point, So Pulsechain can really shift us and really crank this thing into a whole new gear. Not mentioning the P-Hex that we're all going to get for free. Not mentioning those T-shares we're going to get doubled on the Pulse network. Like this is crazy, right? This it almost sounds too good to be true, but it's like, this is true. This is this is real. This is just the best time to really be alive. This is the best time to be in crypto. And this isn't even crypto. This is just Hex and Pulsechain. Like crypto is crypto. Crypto's in a bear market. Crypto is just buy and hopefully everyone holds. Crypto is, Bitcoin being down 60% after, so many months now, everything's down. Everything's, low energy. Everything's just red, negative. People are running around like chickens with their heads cut off because all the influencers don't know what to do. They're saying, do everything except for buy Hex. Do everything except for believe in Hex. Do everything except for listen to anybody in Hex. And it's like, okay, stay wrecked with me, right? Those influencers that are big maxis, they just want you to stay wrecked with them. It's like, it's kind of like a crab in a barrel mentality. Don't idolize anybody on the internet, right? Don't idolize anybody. People only know what they know. Just because you learn something off of somebody on the internet, somebody helped you learn about Bitcoin, don't leave your level of knowledge at that. Everybody's limited in their own ways. Keep your mind open and always explore things. Do your own research because all it takes is just a mind. You're making your own decisions to really shift things, By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so far behind in the comments, but shout out to you guys. I do appreciate you guys being here. With that being said, though, let's take a look at the charts. I didn't do my weekly ritual where I compare the price of everything, the percent everything's either up or down since the start of the bear market. And remember the very first day everything dropped when Hex pumped, I told everybody, the start of the bear market. I didn't call it or anything, but I was like, everything's in the bear market, Hex is pumping. And people were like, I don't agree with your sentiment, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, just see what happens. And sure enough, But let's take a look at the market versus Hex. And if you guys did not see my technicals, I feel like I made it very understanding and too many things aligned tonight, right? So look at, if you guys are late, just rewind this, watch the beginning. I think I made it fairly simple and got straight to the point. But all right, bear market started early May, right? Let's start with the big beast, Bitcoin. Last time we were on stream, how far were we down? I got to go to the daily chart. These candles are too small. Last time we were on stream, it doesn't actually show my history. But Bitcoin, I'm not even going from the start of the top. I'm being nice to the Bitcoin people. The start of the bear market was early May. Bitcoin started in April, but I'll go at the time when everything else dropped with it. The start of the bear market, Bitcoin is down 45%, and that's after a massive pump this recent week. I think it might be a bull trap, a nice little bounce off the bottom before we break. By the way, look at Bitcoin. I mean, we are bouncing off this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches off of a level that has 1, 2, 3, 4 touches back in early January, right? This is a simple pattern in the grand scheme. It's not perfect, but look at this. There's a shoulder, neckline, headline, neckline, shoulder line, neckline. It's a head and shoulders pattern. What happens next? Bam, bam, bam. I see 20K Bitcoin at least. Richard Hart sees it at 10K. Hey, he knows more than I do, but I would say safely we're going to see 19.5 in Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin is down 45% since the start of the bear market. Trash, trash, trash. Ethereum since the start of the bear market. This one's a little worse. It just big after the pump. Ethereum still down 51%. Congratulations. If you bought Ethereum, you're down half your bag. And you're actually basically you lost your bag and Pulsechain is going to take over your utility. So shout out to you guys. I will buy Ethereum when it drops down to like 1,000, 1,300 just to have it. Why not? You know, we're still gonna see 100K Bitcoin and a 1,300 Ethereum. Okay, Cardano, where are we at since the start of the bear market? Cardano not looking too good. Cardano's down 50%. Shout out to you guys. Unfulfilled promises. That's what you deserve. Okay, be unique. XRP, we were down 63% last week, and we are down about 65% this week. So shout out to XRP, Dead Energy. Pray for you guys. Hope you guys are still alive over there, XRP Army. BNB, the scammiest of them all, down 56%. That's all the attention BNB's going to get from us tonight, right? Dogecoin. How about Dogecoin, ladies and gentlemen? We were down 73% last week. We are on the way back up. We were only down 71.9%. No, I'm going to go from the top because, yeah, we're down 73%, ladies and gentlemen. Dogecoin not looking healthy at all. So Dogecoin tried to create a head and shoulders pattern, but it was just so weak. Look at shoulder, neckline, headline, shoulder line. You're supposed to get a neckline in this area, right? Well, or a shoulder line, sorry. And it didn't happen. It was just too weak. It said, you know what? I don't even need a second arm. Somebody took a bite out of Dogecoin's second arm. And then Hex, from the start of the bear market, how far are we down? Wait, we're not down? Hex is up 113% since the start of the bear market. So you're telling me if you are in Bitcoin or Ethereum, you lost half your bag. If you're in any other random ass coin like Dogecoin or XRP, you're down 60, 70%. You literally lost almost all your portfolio. But if you had Hex, you did more than double, not counting the top that we just had a few days ago. This wick is 200%, ladies and gentlemen. We had a 200% rush up from the start of the bear market. People tripled their bags in Hex, right? And a lot of people sacrifice this top. In Hex, we don't sell tops. We sacrifice tops. We're different, right? But even after this pullback, we are down, or we are up 112% since the start of the bear market. Hex is not only a safe haven. Hex keeps getting you paid by price performance and in T-shares. Hex is not only going up, Hex is paying you while it goes up. Ladies and gentlemen, if everyone in your life does not know about Hex and understand it, do the good service and just really be patient with people. Help them understand it. Don't attack anybody that calls it a scam without understanding. At least give them the chance to educate them, because this is very valuable knowledge. This is very important stuff, and everyone deserves to hear about this, okay? So Hex outperforming the pack, nothing new. It's another day at the office. So that's what I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, we're 53 minutes in. I thought this was like a 25-minute stream. I talked a lot. I'm so far behind on comments, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to hit me up on Twitter at Crypto Jenkinz. Follow me on my YouTube channel. I'm going to do more daily videos. I try to just not stream too much because I don't want to give you guys too much where I just dilute all the valuable information. I want to pack a punch, give you guys a lot of good stuff in one video rather than just a couple of good things in a bunch of videos. There's enough people out there that do hex videos, that give a lot of good content, that sell hex better than I do. That there's people that do TA charts that are good at it. I love the way I do charts. It's worked for me forever. But I'm not going to say I'm the best because there's a lot of smart people out there. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I do these charts. We know this. We've been walking this down. So I listen to myself when it comes to charts. So just share this with your friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. Some good information. But yeah, just hit me up on the stream on Twitter if you guys want to reach out to me. If you guys want to set up a stream, let's talk about Pulse. I want to make a video coming up soon. I want to have a Pulsechain conversation with some brilliant minds, and a lot of you guys are brilliant out there. So just hit me up. Let's talk on Twitter. I'm probably going to set up a stream with maybe for Sunday, maybe Sunday night in America. Sunday night I want to set up a stream. So let's do that. But shout out to the Hexicans. I want to say Merry Christmas to you all, just because like we're getting rewarded with all these free gifts, price performance, great time to be alive. We couldn't be any more bullish in this world. We couldn't be in a better situation. Congratulations if you guys are here today. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace. Oh, I didn't play a song for you guys to end it, but whatever. Hit you guys up next.